walkthrough of the FunDayUSA platform that I've created. Kind of talk about how it's useful for different constituents, those being people that want to do experiences, starting in the Florida area, and then providers, people who provide products and services. Could be sunset cruises, could be golf cart rides, could be Airbnbs, whatever you want to provide to consumers. And then we have a whole constituent of travel agents, which are influencers, concierge, uh, many different types of categories of people who want to be able to promote events or experiences in the local area. And the reason I built this platform is because we actually plan to offer services, and I really felt that it was necessary that there be a platform to drive enough business to what I'm trying to do, and figured I'd try to help out everybody else in the area. So what I plan to do is kind of twofold. One is be a service provider of different experiences, and two is to be an influencer for not only my own products and services, but everybody else in the area, and then take it one area at a time. I will take the commissions that any of the providers are offering. So I'll talk about that in a minute. And I will market through search engine marketing, through social media marketing, and other services. And my plan is to not take any fees. Now, I have built in the capability that we could take fees at some point in time, but I would plan to grandfather people in who get in early. So that's my plan. That's where I'm going with this. I hope you're one of those, fit into one of those categories. I think pretty much everybody fits into one of those categories. So I'm going to create another video, which is a walkthrough of the actual website. But you can go today to just HTTPS and then FunDayUSA.com. And what you're going to see, I'm going to walk you through some of that page step by step. But if you're not logged in, you can create a sign up, and all the users and everything will be maintained when we go live. But I'm not going to keep the points data and things like that, because currently it's in the test mode with the Stripe payment platform. And so you can go in and you can create, you can add a bunch of points to your account, and you can try it all out. And it doesn't actually cost you real money. It's all through the Stripe test plan. So I will keep the users and any experiences and things like that over time. So the top, they call this above the fold. The first part of the page is basically some menu items that you see up on the top, where you can explore, and that just scrolls you down to the explore start of the page that we're going to talk about in a minute. Points plan takes you down to that part of the page. Markets takes you down to the different markets that I plan on pursuing, and so on. So the whole idea is create unforgettable days in Florida to start, and then I'll be expanding it out beyond Florida into other areas later as well. I'm a tech guy by trade. I've built and sold a number of technology companies, and I've been living in Florida for the last 4 years now, and love it there so much. Love the experience. I live in Sarasota, and would really like to start out by helping the Sarasota community by building out this platform. And then, like I said, I have an interest in providing some services myself. Right below what you just saw, there's a section that says explore by category. So if you have ideas about different categories that we should group these experiences into, let me know, because I'm looking for feedback. It's real easy for me to do this, and on the actual screen it rotates through them so that you can look at relaxation, road trips, captain experiences, golf cart rental, driving, and all different categories. So every experience is grouped into one and only one category. Now, in this case, you can see up the top here, I picked golf carts. So I clicked on the little golf cart, And what you're seeing here is the uh, one golf cart event if or experience. If we had multiples, then you would see all those different ones. And you can pick from the drop downs and pick different providers, pick different events, and you'll see all this when I actually demonstrate the website. But all this is live and working. I'm going to talk about top up in a minute and how that works. This is a 1 week rental of a moke, and it's 2,000. And you see points. Points are what you get when you pay money into the platform, and I'll go through that here in a minute. And if I'm logged in, I'm going to see the number of points it takes. If I'm not logged in and I'm just exploring, I'm a consumer, and I'm looking to book my first experience, I'm going to see $2,000 for that. A point is effectively worth the same as a dollar. We'll talk more about that in a minute as well. So, here there's only one golf cart available. It's the Moke, and it gives me a little bit of information about it, and then I click more info or book, and then it shows me what you see here on the next page. Now, a few things about this page. Now, the text that you see over the picture of the Moke, that's me for this presentation. Uh, this tells me a little bit more information. What is the current date and time? And when is the next available Moke rental? The next one happens to be on October 13th. And you can see I've got a rental every single week. Now you see that I'm showing the commission structure here, but the reality is when the system goes live, we aren't going to show that. The only reason I'm showing you that is because different providers can provide a different commission. They can do it overall, they can do it for an event, or they can even do it down to the day. So if you said, oh, I'm going to charge a whole lot of money for Christmas, but I'm going to pay an influencer or a travel agent, as I call them, then you can do that. So Brad's Buggies on Siesta is offering this 40% commission on this experience. So what you see on this page is based on the provider, is based on the date that it happens to fall on, and so on. Now, again, I've gone back to an unlogged, not logged in mode, so I'm seeing the price in dollars here. Then if I up the top, I click on a different provider or a different experience type, different category, you see that I changed it from the category of golf carts over to captain experiences. So then I see all the different captain experiences that are available out here, and I could scroll down and see all these different experiences. Now, I'm looking at it for all markets right now. By default, it's looking at the market that you live in. Again, now I've logged in, and so you're seeing a range of points or points, on these events, and so I'm seeing these different things. You can you can enter in a search if you wanted to look for Komodo. You could type that in if you wanted to look for a specific provider like Brad Siesta or Aqua Adventures or whoever it happens to be. You can pick them from the drop down list. And then you can pick a specific event, a specific category, subcategory, specific market. Usually you're going to be looking only in the area that you are staying or living. So what we see here are the different events that meet the criteria of what we specified at the top of the page. Now, here's another example of an experience. And the Island Hopper, for example, is an 8-hour experience, noon until 8 p.m. And Coast and Cove offers a 10% commission. So again, commission's not going to show up on a long-term basis. It's only there for kind of demonstration purposes and for you to get a feel for what the platform is going to do on a long-term basis. So again, just a different experience, different commissions being offered. So now I've kind of switched back to the home page. There I drilled into specific events. If you scroll down the page, we've got this configurator where you can go in and say, well, what I'd like to do is I'd like to spend so many on a yearly basis, and I'd like to buy those points now. The more points you buy, the more points you get. And it's not technically a discount, it's a premium. And so we give you, in this case, I'm saying I want to spend $8,000 annually, and I can do any of the experiences within the platform. And I'm going to pay $8,000 and be able to do these different plans. It's called the grandparents plan or a family up to 10. It has a range of 5,000 to 10,000 points. And I can enter in whatever number I want. You're going to see in a minute I'm going to enter, a much bigger number. So for my $8,000, I'm going to get 9,600 points. Now, another option that I have is I can turn that into a monthly subscription. Now I have to buy my points initially, kind of the buy-in is I have to buy my first year's worth of points. And then I can set my monthly billing to start anywhere between right now, immediately, to 12 months from now. So if I wanted to use my 9,600 points over the next year and then start accruing, I would get 933 points. I get double the points when I'm recurring on a recurring revenue uh, basis. So the beauty of the platform is you can pay for what you need. You can pay as little as whatever the experience costs, or as much as you'd like, and get as much of a premium as you'd like. And you can do it on a monthly basis, and starting anywhere from immediately to 12 months out. And so what you end up getting is these premium points. So, like I said, for the $667, they're getting a 40% premium and they're getting 933 points. Now, the providers get paid based on the current average dollar spent by on a point by whoever the consumer is. Now, the consumer could be another provider, an influencer, or somebody else. So it's an average number as of right now. What did you pay for those points? I'm going to talk more about that in a minute, kind of how that works out. And if you're a provider, you have the capability of saying, well, I can handle a 20% discount, but I can't handle any more than that on anything that happens. Now, you're going to be walking away from corporations and people who have a higher discount, potentially, but not necessarily. It's not like we eliminate you from the search. We just do what I referred to earlier as the top up. So we let them know that this provider can't do it for any more than an X% discount. So we're going to top you up so that you're going to pay up to whatever their maximum discount level is. Okay, so here's another plan, and this you're going to see a more accentuated example on the top up. I'm a corporation. I want to spend $200,000 immediately, and then I'm going to spend $16,667 a month, and I'm going to get 30,000 points. I'm going to get 80% uplift on it. So what does all that translate to? Well, if the provider accepts 80 cents on the dollar, but the consumer only paid 70 cents on the dollar for those points, in the top up scenario, we would top you up. So you're actually going to end up paying. It's just going to be more points. We're going to add more points. We're going to show you, and you'll see this in a minute, how that exactly works. So again, back to the homepage. If I scroll down a little bit further, one of the things on there are the popular experiences. So we're just showing the most popular experiences as of today, or that are trending, the top 10 trending, right now. Again, I can click on book more, and I book or more information, and I go right into it. Then we have reviews. These are all made up reviews that are on here today, but in the future they won't be. When we do the purge of everything, we'll get rid of all the fake reviews, and you're going to scroll down on the homepage, and you're going to see the actual reviews from actual customers within here. And obviously, customers are going to be able to enter in their own reviews. Now, as you scroll down the page, in addition to that budget configurator, we have another one down further on the page. In this case, I entered $5,000. Again, that's within the grandparents plan. And you'll see more on the different plan levels here in a minute. What we do is we show you what those $5,000 translates into in terms of a subscription package versus a one-time package. And then we tell you what are the advantages of each of those packages. Again, scrolling down a little bit further, we have plans that are of any shape and size. And you can see the give us a try. There's no bonus, no premium points that you're getting on your dollars spent up to the first $1,000. So if whatever you want to do costs $400, you'll see here in a minute when I go through it, it'll say, oh, you don't have enough points, and you just want to buy what you need. And if it was $362, you pay $362 for 362 points. Now, if you happen to be at $2,500, you're going to get a 10% premium. So we're going to say, would you like to spend the $2,500? And you'll get 10% more points. You'll be able to use that on drinks and tips and whatever you happen to want to use them. So you can see the different categories that we have, all the way from give us a try, and there is no discount, but discounts start at $1,000, and then we actually go up to 10 million on our plan. These are subscription plans. So subscription plans, you get double the points when you're on a monthly subscription plan. So again, here we are with the grandparents plan. We're looking at that. We're kind of analyzing it. We're saying, what would you like to do? Well, now the consumer themselves, I think we don't know because we haven't launched yet, but I think that they are going to come in and find an experience through the providers. Provider's website is going to link just like Fair Harbor and all the other platforms do today. They're going to link into our platform, which isn't going to charge them any fees. Now, they are going to suffer the discount on payout of whatever discount you got buying your bulk points. So they are giving you a discount, but it's really if you're a really good customer. And so I think that what's going to happen is they're going to come to these providers and they're going to go to book, and our application is going to be used for the scheduling, and it's going to say you just want to pay now. Maybe they'll read through it, maybe they'll consider it later, and hopefully you, as in the providers, will delight them enough to get them to say, gee, I should really bundle up and I should buy a bunch more points for more experiences throughout the whole week or month or however long I'm here. They can also buy merchandise, drinks, they can give out tips. There are many things that they can do with those points. So we'll talk through that too. The receiver of the points, now again, that could be the provider who's providing the service. It could be the influencer, which could be me if you're coming to my website because I've pushed you there, or it could be a hotel that drives you to me. It could be the employees that get paid the tips. They're going to receive tips at the customer's current average price that they paid per point. So that's going to recalculate the provider, influencer, employees price per point, their average at that point in time. So you, as a provider, influencer, employee, are going to see your points value going up and down. When you want to do a cash out, you're getting the dollars that are the number of points times the average dollars per point. Anybody can use their points at any time. So if I'm a provider and I want to send my employees on another provider's experience, I can do that. If I want to send out potential customers on somebody else, I can use my points to do that. I could charge them, for that too. I could kind of book it for them and set them up. We're using Stripe as our payment processor, and like I said, The beauty is right now I'm in test mode, but I just flip the switch and I'll be live. The real beauty under Stripe, and the reason I chose it, I have chosen it before, is customers can pay via ACH or credit card. They could even send us a check, but if they pay by ACH, the fees are really low. We add the fees on to what the customer's paying so that if they're paying $1,000 for the experience, they're getting 1,000 points. You as a provider are getting $1 for every point that they paid. And the fees, the additional $5 if it's ACH, or about 3%, for, and it shows them, the difference between each of the options. And it would be less if it's less than $100, as you can quickly do the math, I'm sure. So I clicked on the grandparents plan, and we just randomly picked numbers in that prior screen between the range of 5,000 and 10,000, and for every person who comes in there. And so you can see here for the grandparents plan, we picked $5,200, and you can take that little slider and move it back and forth, as you'll see in the actual live demo. Now, for $5,200, your savings of using ACH is $146. So you would pay $5,200 plus the $151.10 if you wanted to buy the 6,240 points. If you go by ACH, you're only going to pay $5 more, so you're going to pay $5,205 is what you're going to end up paying. The user can slide the scale and see how many points they get, see how many bonus points they get, see what the fees change to. It's all live within the system. Then, as they scroll further down on the page, they can do it as a one-time purchase. So I just want to pay $5,200 and I want to get my 6,240 points, and we tell the advantages of it, right there in line. The other option is they can go into the monthly subscription, and if they want to do monthly subscriptions, they can either start immediately, or they can say, no, I want to wait 12 months to do that. And you can select either option. And it doesn't matter when they start, they're still going to get the all those points, 6,240. They're going to get their double bonus points on a monthly basis. And then another thing that you see here is that if I start immediately, I'm going to pay my first month plus the fees, plus, so it adds it all up, and it's $56.33 if I'm paying for the first month starting now and on a go-forward basis. Now, their average cost per point would be going down on a monthly basis. Now, scrolling down further on the page, it shows you, well, I'd recommend that you do a bank transfer, and it calculates the number and it tells you which one's better. Bank transfer, $5. Credit card, $151. You click on the bank transfer, and then we do a link into the bank. Beauty is Stripe handles all that for us. We aren't storing any credit card information. We aren't storing any kind of sensitive data. You link to your bank account. You can use any account that you happen to want to use. And same with credit card. We store the last four of the credit card. We store all that within our system, and you can pick a prior credit card really easy to make your second and beyond purchases. First purchase, pretty simple. You just have to log into your bank. And you can see I chose to, I changed it. I chose to do it starting in 12 months, and I'm paying by this account $43.21, and I'm paying the $5,200 plus the $5 fee. Boom, there we go. Shows me my transaction is complete. I paid via ACH. I got 6,240 points in my account, and now I'm ready to start booking experiences. Further down this homepage, we show the subscription benefits. Then we go into the one-time. So you don't want to do a monthly subscription. You just want to buy one time. Now, again, we're trying to upsell for sure. We say buy now, then we say buy and add monthly billing. The buy and add monthly billing is starting in 12 months. You get all these double extra points. So we show them the same options later, but we show it to them in different ways, and we show them the advantages of each of the configurations they can do. Now, every partner, which partners are providers, every provider has their own page that they can send people to, which has a list of all their experiences. But we also highlight our partners or our providers down on the page, and then we, give them the advantages of becoming a partner. If they want to do that, we'll reach out and contact them, and we are obviously actively looking for partners within our network. Next section on that homepage are the markets that we're in and the dates that we're opening and how many events we have and all that kind of information. So I have a whole schedule at the bottom of the website in terms of launch dates, and you'll see that within the FunDayUSA.com. We'll update that as things start to get more real. We're starting in Sarasota, and the real value going into other markets is that if I'm in Sarasota this year and I think I might be in Naples next year or I might be in Fort Myers next year, then what I want are points that I can use year to year. Now, keep in mind, one of the advantages is anybody can cash their points out at any point in time. So if I buy 10,000 points and I got a big discount, and I only ended up using 1,000 of them, we will send them their money back for whatever they didn't use, but we'll reprice the points before we send them their money back so that they get what they paid for effectively. So there's not an advantage to buying and paying $10,000 and not using it, but there's not a disadvantage at the same time because you can get your money back if you decide to do it, not continue on. Now we have travel agents. Travel agents are people that want to offer up ads or marketing or cards or flyers, or it could be real estate agents in an office that just have a flyer that say, go parasailing, or whatever it happens to be that they want to promote. Could have a QR code that's going to go right to the provider's page. And you can see I've got the funny names in here. Anything goes. That travel agent will accept whatever rate the provider happens to be paying. The FunDayUSA website, I happen to be one of the featured travel agents, and I'm just like anything goes. Whatever rates the provider is paying is what I will take in terms of the commission. Greedy Gecko, I think he takes a 50% commission. And so, we don't show those stats on here, but you can click and see their experiences. When you click on Greedy Gecko, what you're going to see is that all of a sudden prices go up substantially once you log in because Greedy Gecko charges a high commission. Now, at any point in time, you as a consumer can say, well, I don't want to use that person. They didn't really do anything for me. I did find you that way. So we allow you to change who it is, but no matter what, we're going to end up paying what the standard commission is. But if you're saying I don't, that person shouldn't get compensated, then we're going to allow you to pick an event without them in the middle of it. And we're looking for people that will join our travel agency as well so that people can promote. And then scrolling down further on the page, we have new and noteworthy. So anything that got added recently, what are the new things that are out there? We show the new things that were added this week. Then we show the top bookings of the week. So how many bookings did they have? And we allow you to go right to them. So if you're just kind of curious. Then we have our KPIs, key performance indicators. These are live stats throughout the system. As you're scrolling up and down the page, you're going to see different stats all the time. The reviews, the actual reviews, the real numbers, that's what's going to show up there. The number of points that were issued and paid on bookings, the number of people who joined the community, the number of events that are ready to book right now, the live activity, who booked what, where, when, why. All of those KPIs are right out of our database. They're not made up, and they're not. So you'll be able to go in at any point in time. Then, of course, we have an FAQ, frequently asked questions. Okay, so now let's talk about providers. Let's say you're a provider, and I'm Brad's Buggies on Siesta. So that's me. Those are my grandkids. Playing on our wave runners. Every provider has a direct URL to their experiences. A influencer travel agent can curate their experiences. They can say, well, I like Brad's Buggies on Siesta, but I don't like Bob's Buggies on Lido. So they can pick and choose who they like, who they dislike, who they want to add, what locations they want to go out of. There's all kinds of configuration that influencers can have on their page. Providers have their experiences. That's it. You get your experiences. So Brad's Buggies, these are Brad's experiences. He has one that's a boating experience, one that's a booking, as in a home for rent. He has one golf cart. He has one relaxation, which is walking on the beach, and then he has two, road, which are scooters. So you can see here that I can go to Brad's actual website if he has an actual website. Now, of course, I'm hoping that providers will be able to remove their existing website and the need for their website, and they'll be able to drive their marketing, every bit of their marketing, over to our page. At least if it's from the booking, perspective. So, provider has their events. Here's an event. I actually selected, rent our wave runners, and there's add-ons that you see over to the right. There's a cooler. There's a dolphin T-shirt. There's 2-gallon gas can. Now these are topped up, and I'll tell you more about why the top up's so high. I made up when I was making up the points for demonstration purposes. I created my own account with 11 million points in it that I fictitiously paid about 10 cents a point for. And then, over time, I think I'm at 18 cents a point or something like that now. So a $300 Brad's Buggies renting the wave runners calculates into 2,612 points, which is the same as the cost of renting the wave runners. The cooler, is not that expensive. The gas can is not that expensive, but when you multiply it out, now no consumer is going to have points at that low, but even if they did, you can protect it by doing a top up, and that's where you saw on the other page it showed you no top up and top up. So you can filter through events, and you can say, look, I paid for a discount. I want the discount that I paid for, and so I only want to see the events that will take my money at my dollar amount. So again, here we are at Brad's Buggies with all the different experiences, not just the one event, the wave runner. And you can see for 150,000 points, you can rent a house on Siesta for a month. Again, that's the top up points. So you go from the provider to the experience to booking. So here we have drilled into renting an e-chopper, and then we click more, then we see the full details. What's the price of renting it? And then now we're seeing the breakdown. Now, I'm going to remove the commission from here on a go forward basis because you don't need to see that as a consumer what commission is actually getting paid back to the back to whoever the influencer is. But you do need to see what the top up is. And the top up in this case is 202 points. And we have a full explanation as you hover over things. It shows you it's this much in top ups. You paid this much a point. They require that much a point, and so on. So from here, I would pick a date and time that I want to rent the e-choppers. Now I come to the next page, and again, Experiences can offer any number of add-on experiences with the experience itself. You can also offer them at the time of the experience. For example, you might offer a wetsuit or fins or goggles or whatever it happens to be, drinks at the time of the event. So here I can pick, oh, yeah, I need a helmet with my chopper up. There's 2 choppers available, so I can move that up to 2. It's worth mentioning that the each of these add-ons can be per ticket, which in this case, a ticket is a chopper, or it can be per group. So if you were getting a cheese board, for example, for the group, you wouldn't pay times 12. You would pay for the whole group, for the whole boat, whatever it happens to be. So here I moved it up to, I said I wanted the helmet, I wanted the t-shirt. I'm at 938 points. Now I go on and I say, I get a confirmation page. Again, we're going to remove the commissions on here, the provider net. You'll just see that for the 2 choppers, you paid 604 points. Add-ons paid 334. The total points, you need 938 points. If you've got them, great. If you don't, we're going to ask you if you want to buy more. Now, if I was just buying 938 more, I'm going to pay $1 for every point that I use. I happen to have a really nice balance, as I said, 11,000 points. So now I click on confirm and boom, there, got it. I paid 6,240 points for this. The for that was back to the package. Sorry, I shouldn't have. It was not for the prior page. So now the flow of the application from a consumer perspective, you have a pretty good feel for that. They're finding experiences, they're booking the experience, and they're paying for points. They can use those points for tips. They can use it for buying drinks, any number of things. I built dashboards into the application for every different type of constituent. Now, you could fall into multiple categories. You could be an influencer. In other words, you could have QR codes that you get to measure campaigns, and you could be a provider. You could also be an employee and be scheduled on a shift. So you could be a lot of different categories. Pretty much everybody's going to be a member, because if you're a provider, you can be a member and you can use your points for whatever you want. So you have all these different dashboards that you can view, all the KPIs that are related to you. You can see on the top left, the provider dashboard tells you about your bookings this week and future. And then as we scroll down, I'm going to show you more details on that. If I'm an agent, travel agent, again, I want to know how my campaigns that I'm running are doing. If I'm a member, in the middle, I want to know how many points I have, how many points I've spent so far in the last 30 days, how many points I have used in the lifetime of my account here. And then, we've got things like, I want to get paid out. I show how many different events based on the average ticket price. We calculate the average ticket price in our area. We take our, it's basically 11 million points that we have. You can see up here the cash value as of today. If I cash out on the provider, is $2,032,000. So if I'm a member, I have 2 million in cash. If people don't care how little they get paid for points, I would have as many as a million. And you can see I've paid on average about 18 cents a point, right here. So the platform, of course, I have dashboards to monitor how all the providers are doing, how all the agents are doing, how all the employees are doing, how all the members are doing, so that I can manage that. All right, so provider dashboard. You can see, got some great summaries. One thing I haven't talked about is this whole trip types and flows. So if you want to create a workflow around a sunset cruise because you hand out a flag that you're going to fly, um, and you need to make sure that you note that you hand out flags, and you can even sell the flags, and you just click on it and say they got it, or a drink, or whatever they want. You can set it up so that they have so many drinks per hour as a maximum. So 2 drinks an hour they can have. Whatever limits you want to set, we're auditing this information. We're storing who clicked on it, who said you had it, who said you went into the water, who said you went out of the water, that you all went out of the water, and so on. That's what's in trip types. So you're going to see some KPIs. You can see that, hey, I can get paid out as of today. When I scroll down the page, I get to see my utilization. This is a pretty bad utilization. I've got 0 booked and I've got a big capacity out here. I can open it up and you're going to see the dashboard for the actual event instance, we call them. An event instance is an event on a specific date. Got some quick actions. We've got our points ledger. So here we go. Oh, this guy rented. Remember I said I originally bought my points at 10 cents. So you can see I ran a transaction on August 2nd, and I charged 540 points, which equated to $54 in my bank account. Then I got somebody else who rented the Wave Runner. Their effective CPP is cost per point. The buyer's cost per point was 83 cents, so I got $433. Then I did a guided beach walk for 105 points at 83 cents and 87.54, and right on down the line. So you get to see, your ledger of points coming in, points going out. Here's my instance dashboard or my date. So here I am renting the Wave Runners. It's October 7th. I'm sitting here waiting for people to walk in, and I have nobody signed up right now. This is burning inventory. It's useless right now. It's cash I'm never going to see as a result. Well, let's say somebody walks in, scroll down on the page, and you can add guests as walk-in. Or let's say that you got a booking, you're going to use Fair Harbor, or you're going to use your own website to collect bookings. I don't know why you would, but let's just say you did it that way and you collected the money or cash or whatever happens to be yourself. You enter in the name of the person. I entered in an email. You don't have to enter in the phone number. You say how many tickets or how many, in this case, these are Wave Runners. How many Wave Runners do you want to rent? You enter in 3, and then it came back and said, there aren't enough of these available. You only have 2. So then you reduce it to 2. You say, okay, now I've got it. Now on the page, you see the attendees, the actual attendees. And I actually changed this particular one to be a in the water experience with full safety briefing. So here are the actions that you see here. So I added Brad at intellivideo.com, and I added that into here. And then I have the capability for both of my rentals that I got. So I said I had 2 people that I was filling it out for. One person paid, but these 2 people are associated. I'm going to collect. Ideally, you'll collect emails so that they can sign waivers and do those things right through the app, and you're going to see that in a minute. That's what the document check-in is all about. Then you have a check-in, you have a checkout, you have a note that you can create. That second check-in won't be there on a go-forward basis. You can serve drinks, and then down in the bottom right, you see that we're creating a log of who the attendee was, who actually recorded it, what time they recorded it, all the way down to the second that they did it. Utilization is huge in the event space, in the experience space. And so, we show this on a graph from red being no utilization to green being great utilization, full utilization. And when I click on any of those, I'm going to, event instances, I'm going to be able to manage the whole event. I can cancel it due to weather. I can reschedule it. I can do all kinds of things right there. Now here is an employee. So in this case, I'm both an employee and I'm the provider. I can see my shift. So you as a provider can say, well, Bob is working on Thursday, October 9th, and he works from this time to this time. The shifts will show up there. You can click on it. You'll see all the people in the event. You can do the check-in. You've got everything you need to be able to check people in. You can give this URL that you see here up on the screen. You can actually scan that yourself and give it a try. And it would log the customer in and pay right out of their account. Go ahead and create an account, add money into your account through the fake square, then scan this, and you're going to see that it's just going to go into your phone, and it's going to ask you how much you want to tip me, and remember, it's funny money, so it's all good. So the dashboard for employees allows you to see everything related to an employee: performance, the tips you received, the dollars that you currently have in your bank. Again, this is all my big account, so I've got a whole lot of points. Then you have agents. Travel agents have campaigns that they run, and it's going to show you all this information for you as an influencer. Things on your campaigns that are available that are booked or aren't booked. And then you get full QR codes, and so that you can put together flyers that you want to send out to people. Now we're looking at the customer themselves. So this is a consumer. Again, I'm a provider. I'm an influencer. I'm everything in this platform. And you can take on as many different roles, but you have a dashboard for every one of your roles. So the top is kind of what your usage has been. How many upcoming trips do you have booked? How many points have you spent within your life? And then you have an image of you as the consumer, and you can edit your own image so that when you walk up and you do your check-in, they can actually see what you look like. And one of the things that points out is, hey, some of the providers in your area require at least 55 cents a point. So your plan, you paid 18 cents a point. So you can still book them, but you're going to get a top up on those. Scrolling down further on the members dashboard, I've got 2 events this week, and I can do a check-in. When I click on open the event, you can see check-in is available here. So within 24 hours, you're able to do check-in. But here I am. I'm at this dashboard. I've got a digital ticket that the provider can scan. It shows me the date and time, who the provider is, what I have. I have 1 seat on the Island Hopper. I've got the event details. I've got the time. I've got a lot of details about this. Now, a little call to action, CTA, on the right-hand side is, hey, want to bring more friends? We've still got 7 seats available. And you can add in, and it's 300 points for each. Another one down below, and you can do this at any time. You can tip the provider, you can tip any of their employees. And you can do as little as 1 point or 1 tip point as your tip. If you click on 10%, it's going to take what you paid and multiply it times 10%, and it's going to put that number right in there. You can put a note in to Bob, who was serving the drinks, and you liked the drinks at the end. When you say send tip down below there, you're going to see the tip show up. Now let's talk a little bit about cancellations. So you can see that I've set up a cancellation policy, and I can do that as a provider, I can also do it as for the whole platform, but I can do it as a provider. I can do it at the event level, and I could do it at the instance level. So I could say, well, Christmas, I really can't handle it. If you book it 6 months out, I can't handle a cancellation. I can't give you any money back, or I'll give you 5% back just because I might be able to rebook it. So you can see the policy, 180 days plus, I get 100% back. 30 to 179 days, 50%. We're currently at T0 minus zero. So we're on the day of the event. I'm going to get 0%, back. If I click on begin cancellation, it'll say, basically, sorry, you're canceling, but you're not going to get anything back. If it was, within that 2 to 29 day time frame, it would show them 693 points is what they would get back. Then they get those points back. You get the rest of the points as the provider. If the date passes and they never canceled, they never showed, you get the points. It basically flushes into your account at the end of the day. Scrolling down on the event instance page, you could see location arrival information, you see a map, you see links, you see parking information, and we've got all kinds of detail available within this page for you. Now, back to that check-in, document check-in feature. When I click on that, I have to click on all the waivers. Now, on the left side, right over here, I can click on this general waiver, and I'll be able to read that particular waiver. We log every time the consumer clicks on the waiver. We log when you check, I've read and agree, or uncheck it and recheck it and uncheck it and recheck it. And you can actually add a note about the documents to the provider that just FYI, Sally had a seizure last week, and so on. So once I've clicked on I've read, then I can say I'm here, and it'll say customers present, waiting on a provider. The provider, on the other hand, will go to this page for the person that's checking in, and they'll say, oh, Bob's right in front of me, so I'm going to go ahead and check them in. And it will then check Bob in. Back to the website again. Scroll down on the page, there's an experiences calendar that says, hey, here's a calendar of what's coming up, and you're going to see that next. But at the top of it, I made sure that I put all the different bookings that you're scheduled for at this point in time, just so you don't go trying to book something for October 13th and you already have something for October 13th. So I show you those right at the top. I show you. You can view, you can click and view all the details on it. You can add it to your calendar, put it on your computer, your phone, whatever you happen to want. Scroll down on that particular page, and now you see I can change the date, the year, the provider or partner. I can change it to see specific events. And here I changed it to the provider being Brad's Buggies on Siesta, and here's all the different events that I have within the platform and the dates I have them and so on. So you get to see all of those different events. You can click on those, and then that just takes you through the cycle. Now, do you like what you read? Great. Now you go on to book or more info, and then you go on to scheduling it and so on. The platform itself, obviously, I need to have information about what's going on with all of the different providers and influencers and customers and so on. And so that's what you see in here. I have full tracking of payouts, payout requests, the top performers, the top influencers, right on down the line. Then I have the best and the worst of the events that are out there. Who's getting 0 signups? We need to look at that. Who's getting 100% utilization? We need to look at those too. So where are we starting with all this? Starting in Sarasota, My goal is to launch January 1st. I need experience providers. I need to load up those experiences. I need the rules for their employees. I need what types of trips they have, what their workflow is, what their pricing is. Is it on demand pricing? Does it go up in certain months, or does it go up when somebody books 6 months out and availability goes down? I need all of that. I have a provider onboarding document that I can share with a provider that to collect all the information that I need to be able to load up the system. They can do it themselves, but I figured for these first so many people, I need to be taking that on myself. Then I'm going to go around and I'm going to talk to different influencers, concierges in hotels and Airbnbs, and I'm going to give them flyers and tell them about the platform. And I'm going to tell them about all my providers that are in the platform and how you can go one place and book all these different things. And they can set up specific people that they want to rent through, and they can charge a specific percentage. And I'm going to, work through that. Once I do that, I'll delete all the test data that's in the system. I'll turn Stripe live and I'll start creating content. And then I'm going to start ad promotions and spending and watching performance closely to generate business. I'm a corporate guy myself. I've been around the B2B world forever. That's when the rubber will really meet the road. I'll start heavy conversations and heavy marketing with corporations out there as well. So if you know an experienced provider, you know somebody who wants to be an influencer, I'd love to hear from you. If you know a corporation or consumers who want to check out the platform, please send them our way. Send them my way. Like I said at the beginning, what do we have here? We have a platform where consumers can buy in bulk or they can buy just enough. Providers have products and services that they offer up through the platform. Agents are able to promote different events and get a commission for that. I'm able to both provide a service and receive commissions. I've been in the digital marketing space. I've been in the building of applications business for a long time. The beauty of what I've been able to build is that a lot of it has been done with vibe coding. In other words, coding using AI. AI is good, but it also is challenging because you ask it to do something and it forgets and it forgets and it forgets. And I'm having it write in code that I can read and audit. And so I'm a developer reviewer more than anything. So thank you so much for your time. And I will next create the walkthrough of the actual website. There's a lot more functionality than what you see here, but hopefully you have a good idea of what I've created. And I would love, love, love to hear your feedback on what I might do better, different, and so on. So please send your stuff, your thoughts my way, and I would love to connect with you. So again, thank you so much for your time. Have a wonderful day.